Here we go.
There is more than one way
Nosdormu
to
said you
solve
would come.
any problem.
I welcome your aid.
Remember,
During our
some
long
are
discussion
meant
about how to
to
find
be
Tyr's
broken.
disc, Chromi and I agreed that you were the right person to help us. But finding the location of Tyr's disc could be very dangerous and would likely require more than just your help. While I work here to narrow down what we need to find the disc, Chromi can give you more details.
We will meet again.
All right, Chromi.
I knew you'd turn up.
What Eternus has told me is fascinating. The Infinite's methods are like ours, but they've merged our magic with tech from other races. Here's an example. Powerful bronze dragons like Nosdormu can sense the time aura around people and objects they've come in contact with. Oh, so that's how he can tell what timeline it's from. Like the silver scale. But doing that is fiddly over long distances and time. Interesting. The Infinites have beacons that detect those auras over the timeways, but it requires triangulation and chrononormic flux combined with... Chromi notices your eyes are glazing over. Oh, listen to me go on and on. You just want to hear about our plan, right? No, I want you to keep talking about chrononormic flux combined with what? Like, please. Yeah, I need that. That's fascinating. That makes me think about... So here's how my brain works, chat. When I read words like sense time aura around people like Nosdormu, I think, okay, I wonder if Aman'Thul can do that. And then when she says, like the silver scale, but doing that is fiddly over long distances and time. So it makes me think like, okay, well, the seat of the Pantheon is like really far away. Like Aman'Thul's time powers, like I wonder how this affects Aman'Thul on the seat of the Pantheon. If he's able to look at time ways or any of that stuff, is the distance or time or anything like that taken to get there having an effect? Maybe because the seat of the Pantheon is so far away, by the time that things are happening on Azeroth, they've already occurred when Aman'Thul is seeing them. Does that make sense? Almost like light taking time to travel, you know? That's how my brain works. So, yeah, here we are.
Take care of yourself out there.
So here's the plan. We need 3 beacons delivered to 3 different places in the timeways to triangulate the disk's location. But these places are potentially dangerous, and right now, undetermined. I am still working on that. You're gonna need help, but I have just the paladin for that. Here's Trevard now. I've returned to fulfill my duty to Tyr at last.
Greetings.
It's good to see you again, Dildormu. I have hope that this time we will finally be able to restore Tyr's memories.
Well met.
It's good to see you again.
Until we
After the tomb was destroyed and the silver scale failed to bring Tyr back, I made the decision to rededicate my life to Tyr. And I made the even harder decision to leave the past behind and reforge Tyr's guard. I had faith Tyr would need me again soon. And after consulting with the Silver Hand, Kordanos and I believe we have found 4 worthy Tyr's guard recruits. Come with me to Brackenhide Hollow and assist me in their final training. Then we can venture into the timeways to find Tyr's disc.
May Tyr guide you.
Thanks for coming back so quickly, Trevor. I didn't want to interrupt your training, you training your recruits, especially since we need them. Now, sending untested paladin recruits to set the beacons? This is the plan? Untested is not quite true, Eternus. My 4 recruits have gone through rigorous training and are ready for their last assignments in Brackenhide Hollow before they become full-fledged members of Tyr's Guard. With Dildormu to help them finish their training, they should be just the help we need to deploy these beacons. Meet me in Brackenhide Hollow, Dildormu. We must make my recruits ready for the task at hand. Let's do it, Traven. Tyr knew then that he and Zakaj were evenly matched. He gathered all the light within him and unleashed it at the Cathraxi, destroying him. But Tyr perished as well. He sacrificed himself for the Vrykul, What a selfless thing to do. That's what they say. That's what they say, sacrifice. Even though he may not live to see it. But I think he had a plan. I have subbed. I am unleashed in chat. Thank you. Selfless, or because the Titans expected them to lay down their life? He was also essentially calling upon the light within, which in a lot of cases for paladins, when they like full send it, it might like be their last act of like retribution or protection or it used to be a pretty hot topic in my Discord, and I think that you guys would really enjoy discussing it, is actually the 5 original paladins of the Silver Hand. I do think they're very important. They're very important. And what they embody, they each basically embody a virtue, one of the 5 pillars of the Holy Light. And it's things like retribution, protection. I think one of them is benevolence. Or like hope. Yeah, one of them is hope. So I think that they're very interesting to look into, especially when you look at the stories for each of the paladins and their mentor Alonzus Fowl. Yes. It's really interesting because many of these paladins have actually been in situations where they call upon the light to enact the pillar that they represent. And it's interesting that there are 5 of them. There's a lot of theories about 5 keys to open our way, 5 torches to light our path. That's one of them. You know, also all of them are dead. That's actually not true. That's actually not true. The original 5 paladins of the Silver Hand were Gavinrad the Dyer, Seidan Dathrohan, Uther the Lightbringer, Tyrion Fordring, and Turalion. The only one who is still alive is Turalion. And I think that they're gonna make him into a bad guy. 5 keys to open our way, 5 torches to light our path. At the hour of her 3rd death, she ushers in our coming. The Sunwell? Its surface shines... What does it say? What's the quote, Lumino? Its surface flickers... What is it? Its surface shines brightly, masking... What does it say? Masking shadows below? Something like that? Also, by the way, when Velen and the forces of the Alliance and the Horde march on the Sunwell and liberate it from the Legion, Velen says that that victory was, like, prophesized. That was destiny. And that Velen knew that they were going to be successful at the Sunwell. The Sunwell was secured, and it was the target of many attacks for a reason. And Chris Metzen said, in Midnight, we're going to go to the Sunwell. The forces of the Void are going to come. We're going to push them back, is what he says. And then things might just spiral wildly out of control. Now, what does that mean? Oh, boy! Buckle up. Because the last paladin of the Silver Hand, not going to be around that much longer, in my opinion. We saw what Zira did to him. We saw how Zira influenced him, blinded him, even in the face of control of Illidan. Muru also let itself be captured by the Blood Elves so that it could be used to purify the Sunwell. Yes, that is correct. And then after the fact, when they drained it of its power, it turned into a void god, and we had to kill it. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
For Tyr.
Welcome. Now that you're here at Tyr's Guard training grounds, meet my recruits, Nolokai, Hadwin, Velunai, and Talthis. By the end of their training, they will be full members of the Tyr's Guard. Oh, this is that guy. Full members of the Tyr's Guard and ready to assist with our mission to restore Tyr. I hope Turalian drops some good mogs when we kill him. Same. I hope we get his sword. Tell me about the Tyr's Guard. How did you select these recruits? Tell me about the Tyr's Guard. The Tyr's Guard was and will be a group of paladins dedicated to the service of Tyr. Well, there's 5 of them. Speaking of the 5 paladins of the Silver Hand, there are 5 paladins standing here pledging to the guy who literally had the Silver Hand. What? The Tyr's Guard was and will be a group of paladins dedicated to the service of Tyr. It began with keeping vigil over his tomb for centuries since his death. Fuck! We're literally bringing back... We're not only bringing back Tyr, we're bringing back the 5 paladins of the Silver Hand. Except they won't be blessed probably by what I would assume are Prime Naru. There were probably 5 Prime Naru. Zira was most likely the one connected with, Remember Zira said that she's among the first to be forged? Well, I think that's probably because there was probably 5 of them. 1 for each pillar, 1 for each paladin, 1 for each, virtue. So... yeah, it's not good. I'm pretty sure that Zira, I think Turalian's was protection. He wanted to protect his wife. He wanted to protect Azeroth. He wanted to protect Zira. I'm pretty sure he also had a shield. I could be wrong, but I think at one point he had a shield. I think his was protection. Pretty sure Tyrion Fordring's was vengeance. No, his was retribution, not vengeance. Retribution, which is why he was able to break out of the ice atop Icecrown Citadel and strike Arthas, is because literally in that moment he was calling upon the core root of his paladin powers. Retribution. Help me shatter these bonds. Yeah, yep. He did something that was impossible. Where hope exists, you make room for healing for all things that are possible and some that are not. Defining fate. Dude, I'm telling you, these are divine powers, the light and the void. And they're subtly steering us, not even subtly, steering us across the path. I'm pretty sure Uther was hope. And I think Gavinrad the Dire was holiness. And then I want to say Seidan Dathrohan was... I can't remember. Uther was justice. Duh. Not vengeance, justice. That's right. It's Uther's whole shtick. Yeah. They themed the characters completely around them. So Turalian, protection. Tyrion Fordring was retribution. Uther is justice. I want to say Gavinrad the Dire was holiness, and I think Seidan Dathrohan was hope. Hope's not a pillar. What was the other one? What's the 5th one? Hope is not one of them? You would know. I mean, you would know. I know that that's like your thing. What's the 5th pillar? Justice, retribution, protection, holiness, compassion. So Seidan Dathrohan, I think, was compassion. Anyway, the point is that there's only one of them left. And it's something that directly relates to the Naru, to the Light and the Void, to the Sunwell, all that stuff. How would Eretor Windrunner feel about these guys? Yeah, Eretor's kind of meh. Illidan being Child of Light and Shadow is way cooler anyway, and it's... I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, let me continue reading. The Tyr's Guard was and will be a group of paladins dedicated to the service of Tyr. It began with keeping vigil over his tomb for centuries since his death. For several years, I have been the sole surviving member of the Tyr's Guard, but recent events have inspired me to reforge the order. If Tyr walks this world again, we will be his vanguard and his servants, following his values and carrying out his will. No. How do you feel about all this? My service to the Tyr's God gave me purpose, but losing my team, my friends, nothing will replace them, or the camaraderie of my youth. Still, I now believe that the Tyr's God has a greater purpose. My hope is that with the right training, we can fulfill Tyr's will and the God's destiny. And if you and I can't help it, they'll all come back from their it can help it, they'll all come back from their mission. I have another question. How did you select them? The Silver Hand representative here gave us the names of a few paladins, but none of them were what we were looking for. Coronos and I spent many days wandering the Dragon Isles looking for signs and stories of deeds befitting the virtues of Tyr. Oh, it's literally about to talk about them. Wait a second. Wait. What? Hold on. Looking for signs and stories of deeds befitting the virtues of Tyr. Nolokai, Hadwin, Valune, and Talthis had each left a trail of good in their wake that led them to me. And when Coronos and I caught up with them, in each case we observed an intense commitment to the virtues that made Tyr the greatest of the Titan Keepers. Justice, order, compassion, and self-sacrifice. Well, that's interesting. Order and self-sacrifice don't go on there. And there's only 4 of them. That's interesting. If you want to hear more, I'm sure they'd love to tell you their story. Yeah.
Until we meet again.
It's an honor to make your acquaintance. I've heard all about your exploits, righting wrongs and defending against chaos, darkness, and other uncivilized behaviors. Oh my god. Chaos! We must kill chaos! You were spot on. Tyrallion would hold the Lyrium of Protection, Uther, Justice, Tyrian, Retribution, Satan, Holiness, Gavinrad, Compassion. The Order of the Silver Hand was born. Found the order, guy. How'd you become... Why are you the exemplar of order? Some have had peaceful lives and may not see the value of order, but it does seem like we're often beset by forces of disorder and chaos, and need more order in our lives. Oh boy. I was a child when the Lich King attacked. Seeing all that disorder, it made its mark on me. I've lived to see Deathwing, the Legion invasion, the Fourth War. Order means the sun rises every morning. Order means children grow up with their parents. I want to be a part of that. I want to instill order on our disordered world, and that is why I exemplify the virtue in the Tyr's Guard. Oh my god, they are all gonna be zealots. Let's go, dude. I have another question. How'd you become a member? When I was young, I remember Silvermoon falling to the Scourge. My world was turned upside down. Later, the city was taken back and restored, but I still wanted to protect my city, my civilization, from that chaos and carnage. The threat still yet lingered in the Dread Scar. I looked to the light for guidance and strength against the Scourge. I joined the Blood Knights, but then wandered to the Dragon Isles, searching for others in need of safety and protection from the Primalists' chaos. Dude, so now he's just like against chaos. It's not the chaos that hurt my people, it's all chaos. He's a fucking zealot. When Trevor found me, I was fighting at the Flash Frost Assault, trying to restore order there. He and Coronos assisted me and then told me of Tyr and Tyr's Guard. And now I'm here, and all is right with the world. Oh my god! Oh my god! What is happening? What is going on? This can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. I'm having a nightmare. I'm having a nightmare. If I just don't do the quest, it won't continue. The timeline ends here. It doesn't, I can be infinite. I can be infinite. This doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't. It doesn't. I'll change it. I'll do it. I'll fix it. It doesn't have to be this way. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, the next one. Here we go.
Welcome. Come here.
Sacrifice. Here we go. We meet at last, Dildormu. Trevardas told me all about you. I think that man has got as much respect for Tyr as he does you. Oh, so that's kind of good at least. Now, what do you need from Nolaki? Why? How did you become a member of Tyr's Guard? I trained under our champion of the light, Rawani Kane. When Rawani fought in the Battle of Dazara Lore, I stayed behind. Did we fight Rawani? When you're Horde, do you fight that person? Aren't they like a Zandalari paladin or something? Don't we kill that person? Maybe that's not true. I stayed behind. Yes? Oh. I think that's the first boss for the Alliance, Champions of the Light. Holy shit! Yo, look at this, some continuity. I stayed behind. I was young and green and thought I would make no difference. But when Rawani fell defending our city without me, I vowed I would use the light to my last breath to save all the lives I could. Oh no. Oh no. Keep life alive whenever possible. But when Rawani fell defending our city, I read that just now. That call brought me to the Wakened Shores. And that is where the man Captain Trevard and the Watcher Coronos found me and told me about Tyr. I found purpose in stories about his heroics. And so, I am a recruit for Tyr's Guard now. I have another question, here we go. Why are you the exemplar of sacrifice? It is because we trolls practice troll sacrifice. Nolaki doubles over laughing. That was a joke. You should have seen your face now. Sacrifice may sound strange. Maybe self-sacrifice or selflessness would be better. But you know these old organizations. Tradition is tradition. Sacrifice is the old ways. Yeah, even though the modernized brain of Nolaki can notice that, you know, maybe selflessness or something would be better, but just sacrifice. Yikes! Core root beliefs of the light. Sacrifice. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think sometimes that's why the light doesn't come to people like Nobundo. Because here's the truth, Nobundo and the others that stayed at Shattrath so that the other Draenei could escape, they were a willing sacrifice. Many people don't know this, but they all planned to die. Even women and children. They intentionally left women and children in Shattrath because they wanted the orcs to believe that when they slaughtered everyone, that it wasn't gonna look weird. So they literally willingly sacrificed women and children. That is how the Draenei work. That's how they operate. Nobundo survived, but he lost the light when it happened. Martyrdom would probably be the most accurate title, but he wasn't killed. He didn't die. So I almost kind of think he almost like lost the light in those moments, like sacrifice, like it's the necessary sacrifice. And that might mean that no more light for you. But Nobundo made it through that, so maybe that means something. Maybe Nobundo can end up, you know, former Vindicator, now Shaman. Yeah, true. I forgot he became a Shaman. That's why. Or the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many? Or yeah, the needs of the many outweigh well, in this case, the lives of the few. And it's just sick. It's sick to think that they made that decision. Let's leave women and children. Like, that is just against the blood-crazed orcs. I get it. I understand the strategy, but no, dude. I cannot believe that they agreed to that. That should show you how committed to this thing that the Draenei can be. Like, I get running and I get wanting to survive, but like, live to fight another day. Like, you can't, like, they're children. They never even had the opportunity to fight for themselves. You made the decision for them. That is not right. That is not right. You want to take an adult, grown man or woman that can think for themselves, You know what? That's one thing, but you cannot choose for children. That is not right. And so that's part of why the Draenei and the Naru have never sat well with me, because the concept of sacrifice so that they could escape is twisted. It is twisted. Everyone escapes, or like no one does, in my opinion. Like you can't. It's just so fucked up, dude. It's so fucked up. Or like some die trying to escape or something, but it's just it's wild. It's wild, man. Anyway. I think I'm the exemplar of sacrifice because Travar knows I will fight until my last breath for my people and my new friends. Even Hadwin.
If anyone bothers you tell Nolaki, okay?
Why are you exemplary? Oh, because I'm a Lightforged Draenei. What? Hadwin?
Troll, orc, human. They're all the same, really.
Okay.
With all the tall tales Travar tells about you, I thought you'd be taller.
How'd you become a member of Tyr's Guard?
I'm not sure myself. I fell into it, I guess. Like I always do. My dad wanted me to join the Navy, and my mum hoped I'd be a Tide Priest. But I'm cracking good at swinging a blunt object, if I do say so myself. And got on with the Order of Embers when Lady Wakecrest asked for volunteers to fight witches in Drusvar. But strange as it seems, I said strange aeons. But strange as it seems, I started to feel a connection to the light working as an Inquisitor. I can't explain it. I worship the Tide Mother. It caused me to seek out the Silver Hand and train as a paladin. But even then I wasn't satisfied. I came to the Dragon Isles to forge a new path. My own path and follow my own code. Righting wrongs wherever I found them. Travad and Koronos found me and the rest is history.
Excuse me? So you were... What? So I became an Inquisitor because I was good with a fucking blunt object. Then I just started feeling a connection to the light, and all of a sudden, I can't explain it. It caused me to seek out the Silver Hand and train as a paladin. What? But even then, it wasn't enough. I came to the Dragon Isles to forge my own path. Bro, you're literally just following the inklings of the light. And right wrongs wherever I could find them, bro. And now here you are, pledging fealty to a fucking... Holy shit! This is out of control! This is out of control! This is out of control! Why are you the exemplar of justice?
What? Do you mean you can't tell? I'm insulted. I am. I'm joking, of course. If only we could tell who was just by looking at them. Right and wrong have always been important to me, even when I was just a lad. My mum ran a shop in Bridgeport growing up. When my dad went off to sea, local ruffians started stealing from her and harassing her. She tried to stop it, but the lawmen in town did nothing. I went hungry a lot growing up because of that injustice. But what was worse was how it affected my mum. I resolved then to stamp out injustice wherever I found it. And that's what I've been doing. Travar just put a name on it.
You know what? That's the most noble one so far. Of course it is. It's justice.
People don't do that.
Well, they embody their traits. I'm not gonna say they don't. Fuck. Oh, let's save the worst for last. Here we go. Compassion. I am honored to make your acquaintance, Dildormu. Your reputation far precedes you. Koronos seems fond of you, and Travart as well. How did you become a member of Tyr's Guard? On Argus, we were always threatened by the Legion. I do not like fighting, but I became a paladin to protect my people. I learned the ways of the light from a vindicator named Iriska. She taught me how to swing a mace, how to heal the injured, and how to face demons without giving in to fear. But I lost her. When I came to Azeroth, I was lost as well. Travart and Koronos found me wandering the Dragon Isles. easing whatever suffering I found. Ravard told me more about Tyr, and I knew then I wanted to become a part of the Tyr's guard. Oof. Why are you the exemplar of compassion? I am humbled that Ravard would give me that title. But really, being compassionate is the only way I can be. Perhaps I am shaped by countless years of fighting the Legion. The Fel were notorious for inflicting suffering wherever they went. I have seen much pain in my years, Till Dormu. No one deserves to suffer. No one. And everyone deserves help. That, I suppose, is why I was chosen as the exemplar of compassion. Okay.
Hope I have helped you.
No one deserves to suffer. Someone should talk to Vana about that. Yeah, sometimes deserving something is like such a matter of perspective. A lot of people try to attribute things that have nothing to do with like intent to like being deserved and stuff, and that's just sometimes not how events unfold, you know? I'm not too keen on the members of the Tyr's Guard, okay? I understand where some of them come from, especially like Hadwin, but these people can easily be made into zealots.